What up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. How you guys today? Hope you guys got all the notices just in time. I put it out about an hour and a half, 2 hours before ahead time this time so everybody can get ready. All right, like always, we're going to give about 2 or 3 minutes for people to get up in here. Thank you for joining. What's up, Tekken? He said, I'm so glad they repoed my shit. And you know what's so funny? The only place you can say that is here. You say that to your friends, they're going to be like, I don't get it. Why are you happy about that? What's up, P. Capes? What's up, Aaron? Mike Rambo? Never. See, I can tell by the way you write. I already know, man. It's in you now. It's see the way you talk. It's just in you. You know that you were a slave before. Now you're out of debt. You know you're not a slave. So now you probably already ignore slaves right now. I don't even hear slaves. I don't even hear them. I only acknowledge slaves when I need them. Okay, just like in business. Hello, Reese. Let me get everything set up here while we're waiting. All right, let me get this ready. I love when you guys say S&D family because we know it's a family, man. No other family like it on YouTube, right? Nope. Right here. Only. Yeah. What'd you say? I'm really starting to understand the whole debt-free concept. And make sure you pull out the word concept. Concept. It's a reality. It's a fact. Okay. I know you didn't do that on purpose, but I'm just trying to just don't use those kind of words because slaves misunderstand it. They'll think it has something to do with like it is a concept. It's just something people believe in. No, it's just mathematics. That means it's fact. What's up, Yolanda? Why is that still? Okay, there we go. Get all these banners going here. All right, let's get started. What's up, Jay? Hello, everyone. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt. That's where slaves live, all right? Slaves live in the debt matrix, and there's two kinds of slaves, unconscious slaves and conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't believe in math. No, they don't know. They don't trust math. Which one am I saying here? They don't. Oh, excuse me. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. See, that's unconscious. They don't even know. Like they think they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages. That's not true. You can just put the math in the calculator and clearly see that's not true. When they think they own the equity in a house that they don't own, when they can just open up the calculator app, put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal and clearly see they don't have any equity. They don't know the number that they see that pops up on their calculator, that negative number. That's their equity in a house that they don't own, and they don't know that. They're unconscious. Conscious slaves are slaves that were once unconscious. Now they came across the S&D family, and they're like, oh, crap, I'm in the negative, and according to the laws of mathematics, that means I'm a slave. Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean I'm a slave if I'm in the negative? That's a good question, all right? This is what I want you to do. I want you to log into your Credit Karma. Get in there. Those are all your owners. A credit report is nothing more than an owner's ledger. Okay, you log in there and you'll see a list of all your owners. And each of those owners give you a score if you give them back their money. So if you borrow their money or you finance something through them and you pay back their stuff on time and their money on time, they give you a credit score. That's for slaves. If you pay back their money on time, you're a high value slave. If you're in the 800, 700, but if you're in a low 400, 500, 600, you're a low value slave. But you guys are all slaves. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay. All right. What I do is help people get out of that. Oh, what's going on with that? Sorry, you guys. I help people. I create the foundation. I'll give you the blueprint, because I used to live there in the debt matrix for the first 40 years of my life until I woke up one day. And you know, I was talking yesterday about this, and I had to think about what actually woke me up. And what woke me up is when I hit my debt to income ratio. I had never been in debt before in my life. I mean, excuse me. I've been in debt all my life. I'm sorry, but I never missed payments. I always pay back on time according to the rules of the credit, right? Pay your bills on time. You get better loans, better percentage rates, blah, 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 blah. Till this one time, for the first time, I got denied for a loan, right? And it shocked me. I was like, what? Because I had never been denied for a loan. So I said, what? I said, what's the reason why you guys denied me? They said your debt to income ratio is too high. So I said, what's that? Because I didn't know what a debt to income ratio was. So I looked it up and I said, oh, that means I owe this much money, but I only make this much money. And then I said, oh, okay. But I didn't stop there. I said, well, something didn't make sense. I said, wait a minute. I followed all the rules. By following all the credit rules is what got me there. I didn't get myself there. I paid my bills on time. They gave me more money at a better percentage rate, keep my credit score good, blah, blah, blah. I did all the rules until one day they said no. And I looked at the debt and I said, wait a minute, following all the rules got me in that much debt. Something didn't make any sense. That was the light bulb moment. Okay. Got on Google, started typing in debt because I didn't know what I was looking for. Came across Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, hey, take the math that you learned in grade school, yes, elementary school, apply it to your finances and you'll win with money. You'll be rich. You can be rich as you want to be. He didn't add all that, but I did, right? So I did it. Now I'm free. I didn't know I was a slave until I became free, because I had always lived in south of zero. Zero's here. I live down here. This is the first time in my life I was living above zero. Then I realized I was a slave. So I took Dave Ramsey's concepts, because I realized it was just about mathematics. It's nothing else, nothing to do with race, religion, short, tall, gay, straight. It's just math. Okay. So what I did was strip out the religion, because religion has nothing to do with mathematics. Tithing has nothing to do with mathematics, nothing to do with God's money. It's just math. Okay, nothing, just mathematics. I stripped it out, made it bare bones basic so people can just get it. And then when I present it to people, I can prove everything I'm saying with mathematics. So that means I'm never wrong, ever. Mathematically speaking, ever. I'm never wrong, okay? So now what I do is I help clients get out of debt by creating the blueprint for them. Once you get out of the debt matrix, it's a whole different world. It's a whole entire different world. You will clearly see that there's more than one economy. I promise you. The one slaves see, that's where they live. Because without them, the economy couldn't exist. You think I saw that when I was in the debt matrix? No, sir. Didn't see any of that. And then you come out, you're like, wait a minute. If I keep financing things that go down in value, I'll never get ahead. No, you won't, LJ. Never. The laws of mathematics say that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. What's impossible? Financing things that go down in value. That's impossible. Everything slaves finance goes down in value. Everything. Because everything goes down in value. Except the important things. What's up, Eclectic? Steven, Nicer, Jay, Alex. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a video review today, okay? And so before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys understand something, okay? I'm not saying anything negative about the person doing in the video, what they do for a living, how he presents his information, because from what I see, everything he's doing is legal. So it's none of my business how he presents his legal business. That's none of my business. I'm just here to tell you, I'm here to show you things that don't make mathematical sense. Okay. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. It can't. It cannot make financial sense. It can't. Okay. All right. So again, so you guys clearly understand it. This is nothing negative about the video person that I'm about to review. Nothing to do with him per se. The person in it, it doesn't matter because there's a million people like him. There's thousands of people on YouTube talking about telling people how the best way to finance cars. Financing cars is for slaves. Only slaves finance cars. Okay. I just want you to make sure that's clear and you understand this. Only a slave makes car payments. Why are they financing the car? Because they have no money. That's why they're financing the car. That's why they break it up in pieces. Because if they, check this out, if they didn't break car loans up into monthly payments, the car industry would collapse because it could not exist without slaves financing them. Do you understand? But slaves don't know this. Okay, slaves don't know this. What's up, Gabriel? All right, so what we're gonna do is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this video up, and while it's playing, I'm gonna pause it and then I'm gonna commentate. Okay, so you guys can understand, so you guys can hear what you can't hear, because when you're in debt, when you're a slave, you are mathematically blind. You can't see or hear. Okay, I'm gonna present it to you so you can hear. All you got to do is follow the math. All right. Now, before we get started, this is what I want you to do. I'm gonna make this easy. Log into your Credit Karma. As soon as you log in, this big number is gonna pop up. As soon as you log into your Credit Karma, okay, this number, you take that number and then you put a negative in front of it. Okay, that's your net worth. That's how much money you have to buy anything, let alone a car. But for this example, that's how much money you have to use to do anything he says in this video. Okay, that's how much money you have. Keep that in mind, write it down so as you're listening to him, I want you to listen to the video, listen to me, and then you look at that number, say, what can I do with this amount of money with anything he's saying? You can't, I'm gonna just give you a head, nothing. You can't do anything. Okay? All right. All right, so let me bring this up. All right, so we're gonna go through this with my debt-free eyes. Okay. Now let's just start out with the title. All right. How to buy a used car from a dealership, ex-salesman exposes their trickery. Right off the bat, I clearly see that he's talking to slaves. Okay. There is no trickery. That's like saying, hey, what's 1 + 2? And then they told you it was 3. No, excuse me. What's 1 + 1? What's 1 + 1? And then somebody told you it was 3. Do you think they were tricking you? No, you just know they're wrong. You understand? Let me say that one more time. That's like if somebody said, hey, 1 + 1 = 3. And then you say, hey, I tricked you. You would look at them like they're nuts. What do you trick nobody? It's just 2. That's what I'm saying. They're not tricking anybody. Okay. As soon as you walk on the car lot and crack your lips talking about you're going to finance a car, they know you're a slave, because only slaves finance cars. Okay. All right. Now, let me know if you guys can hear everything okay, because I'm going to play it. And then I need to make sure you guys can hear it. Okay. So let me pull this up. What did I do with it? There we go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rodney here.
Give me a 1 if you can hear it okay.
Another video about buying a car. Okay? This video is going to help you not to get ripped off when you're at the dealership looking at a new car. All right? For those of you who don't know, I was a car salesman for quite a few years in the business, so I know a lot about the ins and outs of buying cars. I've been a salesman.
Now, him telling you that he's an ex-sales car salesman, something, that's for you, slaves. That's for credibility. That's for to make you believe that being a car salesman has something to do with that. They have slaves who sell cars. There are slaves who sell cars. Car salesmen are slaves. There are slaves. So him being a car salesman has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Does 1 + 1 = 2? Yeah. Then what does being a car salesman have to do with it? Nothing. Nothing. That's to impress slaves.
Also been out there buying cars, of course. So I know the game. So I'm going to teach y'all something that you need to look out for when you're at a car dealership, so that you don't get ripped off, so that you can keep some of your money in your pocket and you get good deals. All right? Don't forget.
If you're going to the car lot to finance a car, you have no money in your pocket. You're not saving anything. That's why you're going to a car dealership. You think people with money go to car dealerships to buy car? No, they buy them from slaves. They let slaves go on the car lot, finance a car more than they have because they're financing it, and then they get in over the head, and then they sell it for half price to people like us with money. We buy it under Blue Book, well under Blue Book, drive it for a few years, sell it at Blue Book. That means we drove the car for free, slaves. Not you.
Forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because on my channel I teach a lot about financial things. I have a lot of videos on my channel about real estate investing. So just give it a thumbs up, check out my channel, subscribe to the channel. All right. But this video here is going to be about cars. When you're in the dealership looking to buy a car, all right, I want you to keep your eyes on the prize, which is your money. You want to keep your money. So you go into a dealership, you're ready to go, you're nervous, you're excited at the same time. I know I've been there.
And check this out. Slaves are nervous when they go in car lot. They're nervous to get more into more debt. What are you nervous about going to the car lot for, slave? For what? There is absolutely no reason to be nervous going on a car lot. Why are you nervous? For what? So you won't be approved for your debt? Is that what you're nervous about? You got to stop thinking like that, slaves. As soon as you walk in a car lot talking about finance, I promise you, they already know you're a slave. They already know. And so 9 times out of 10, the salesmen are too. Okay. So don't think they know something more than you.
So when you go into the dealership looking, you're not always thinking clearly. You're kind of emotional. All right. And it's very easy.
They know you're emotional. Okay. I want you to understand, when you walk in a car lot and you fall in love with a car, one car, and there's hundreds of thousands of that car that you fell in love with, but you fall in love with that one, they have you. Because what are you doing? Falling in love with a car? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I love that car. What are you saying? You love a depreciating thing?
Very easy to get misled. All right. So I'm going to draw something on the board that you've probably seen out there.
Oh, drawing
If you've
time.
seen this before, some variation of it before, leave a comment down below and let me know. All right. Let me know how it worked out for you if you've seen it. What I'm going to show you, you've probably seen it or some type of variation of it. Okay, so
I'm sure I have. Yeah,
and if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Okay.
So this is called a foursquare.
Foursquare.
All right. Check this out.
Got it.
You might see something like this. Up here is your trade-in.
MSRP.
This is MSRP, which is the price of the car.
Half the slaves don't even know what MSRP is. They don't even know what that is. What's MSRP? I don't know. Trade-in. They're going to get you there too, slaves, because they know 9 times out of 10, you're probably upside down in your car. They're going to roll the negative equity in your trade-in and put it into your new loan.
Okay. Money down payment. concept. These are going to be hypothetical numbers on a hypothetical car. But the concept is the same. You got to keep your eyes on the money. All right? So let's say you look at the car, you're all excited, you're ready to buy it, you think you want to buy it, you go into the dealership, right? You're nervous, they sit you down at the desk, and they're like, okay, so they start talking to you, making friends with you, becoming your friend, right? And you decide, well, you think you want to buy a car. I said, okay, let's do this. Right?
It's too late. If you're sitting at the table inside of a dealership waiting for the the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of Oz with super monthly bill predicting powers in the back that's going to predict how much you can pay per month, they already know you're a slave. They already know it. You're in there sitting down. Only slave, check this out. Only a slave would sit at a dealership all day to finance a depreciating object. That doesn't make any sense. You waste the time in your life with no money to finance a depreciating object. Of course, they're going to make friends with you because you're a slave. They're not your friend. This is business. All you got to do is take a step back and be like, wait a minute, look around you. That's a business. They're not your friends. If you think you can hang out at the dealership and they say, what are you doing here? You're like, I'm just hanging out, man. That's what you guys are my friends, right? You buying a car? No, I'm just here to hang out. You're going to be trespassed.
Right? So they present you numbers and it looks like this. They might present something like this, right? So let's say you have a trade-in, okay? And they offer you $3,000 for your trade-in, okay? The price of the car, you look.
Okay, so for slaves, so you guys know, when you come in with a trade-in, right? And then you say, you do the trade-in, right? And then they just offer you some random number. And if you say, okay, they already know that you'd even bother to take the time to look up to see what the value of your car is. They're just going to throw a number out there. And if you didn't look at, because the person that looked it up, they would say, hey, we're going to offer you $3,000 in trade-in. And you get a blue book value, you know it's worth 5 or 6. You're going to be like, wait a minute, it's worth 6. Which time are you going to give me 3? But if you just go, okay, that means they know you're a slave. Okay. They already have you.
It's $25,000. All right. Money down. $5,000 out of your pocket. All right. And your monthly payment.
Hey, listen. Now remember that number I had you guys grab from the beginning? Remember that number? Remember that number? That's your money for your down payment. $5,000 down. You don't have $5,000 of anything. Okay, you ain't got no money to go down. You're trading in a car. You're financing another one. You guys don't get this. As soon as they run your credit report, they will automatically know you're a slave. If you walk in the dealership with student loans on your credit report older than your children, and you walk in there talking about financing a car, you don't got $5,000 to put down on anything. They know that. You don't. Only slaves finance cars, okay?
They might show you something like this.
What are they gonna show me?
You'll be at $375 a month for 60 months. You'll be at $360 a month for 72 months. Or you'll be at $345 a month for 84 months.
Cool.
Okay?
Knockout.
So they present you with these numbers, and they say, okay, which one of these numbers right here, this monthly payment, is comfortable for you?
Which one do you think a slave's gonna pick? 375. No, excuse me, 345 for 7 years. And let me tell you something, slaves, so you guys understand something. Why do you think they say 60 months, 72 months, 84 months? Because it doesn't sound like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. If you don't believe in yourself enough, listen, this is the real deal, okay? If you don't believe in yourself enough that you believe in your brain that it takes 7 years to pay off one car, that is in direct connection of why you believe it takes 30 years to pay off one house. Do you understand, slaves? Everything he's writing on this board makes absolutely no mathematical sense anywhere in the whole entire universe. None. But if you believe it, it's because you're a slave. You don't trust math, because all you got to do is open up the calculator and clearly see, listen, if you see a sticker price on a car and you see a sale price, right? That price is not for you. That price you see on the car, on the front, on the window, that's for people who pay in cash. If you walk on the car lot talking about financing a car for 84 months, you finance it and then you drive it around, tell all your friends that you got it on sale. Only slaves do that. All you got to do is open up the calculator app and clearly see you didn't get anything on sale, because nobody in the universe gets a finance car on sale.
Now, this is where we all fall victim, right? And it's our own thinking. It's our own lack of knowledge, I want to say. A lot of us are monthly payment buyers. All we want to know is we need our car insurance. So a lot of us are only thinking about this monthly payment. So that's why they start off with this monthly payment. They start off down.
And guess what, slaves? So you understand, that's not your car. That's the bank's car, okay? So guess what they require? They require full coverage insurance. Full coverage insurance, okay? For the life of the car. So you got that monthly payment and you got car insurance. And 9 times out of 10, you got gap insurance too. Believe that.
Down here in this bottom half, what monthly payment is good for you? Okay, well, you might be thinking in your head, well, shoot, I like this $345 because it's low, 84 months. That's a long time to be financing a car, by the way. The longer you finance a car, the more interest you're going to pay, all right? So, $5,000 down, right? Now, you're like, man, first of all, I don't have $5,000 down, okay? I can't do $5,000 down.
They already know that.
You might say something, well,
they already know that. Once they run your credit report, they know you ain't got $5,000. They know you ain't got nothing.
Okay, well, how much do you have down?
Nothing.
You say, oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I might have, I don't know, 2,000 maybe? Salesman said.
Remember, the number I told you to get in the beginning is the amount of money you have to buy a car. That's how much money you have. Don't forget that.
I don't know, man. $2,000 down. If you only put $2,000 down here, these payments are going to go up. It's simple math. Less money down means your payment goes up. Okay?
Yeah.
So they might switch it back to the car payment. Well, where are you trying to be at every month? Where do you need to be at every month? Well, I'm trying to be at $300 a month. Okay? $300 a month, you got $345 for 84 months. I don't think we're going to be able to get there. In order to get there, you're going to need a whole lot of money down.
Or you can finance them for 144 months. They got those plans out there, which will bring their monthly payment down, because that's what all slaves think about. 144 months, that's 12 years. That should get you down to about $100 a month.
All right? So you're going to play this game back and forth here. Now, keep in mind, with these numbers here, these payments that they're showing you, these payments are high. They're sky high. They're loaded with profit from the beginning. Okay. Loaded with profit for the dealership to go in the dealership's pocket. All right, you got to keep that in mind. So what they want you to do is they want you to work them, quote unquote, work them down to a comfortable payment here and a comfortable amount of money down out of pocket here. Okay? They want you to work them down. And what will happen is you work yourself down to someplace where you think you're comfortable, but that price is still profitable for them. Okay, so they bring you up high and then they let you work the way down. All right, they're gonna play the game, going back and forth to the manager.
If slaves knew what they get those cars for, you guys be very upset how much they make a car for. You'd be very upset. They make hundreds of thousands of them. You think they all cost $40,000, $50,000 each to make? That's what you pay for them, especially when you finance them, slaves. And one thing, you'll never know that answer. How much they actually make a car for. Yeah, it's probably printed somewhere on a website. No, they print up there what they want to print up there, okay? I promise you. It doesn't cost what you think it costs to make a car.
Oh, they only have $2,000 down, right? Okay, well, if you want to do 84 months, this is going to shoot up to, I don't know, 370 with $2,000 down. Now, the real problem is up here with your trade-in and the MSRP. They want you concentrating on this because that's where we all train to concentrate on, the monthly payment and money down out of pocket. But up here is where you're getting jerked around, okay? Your trade-in value. This trade-in value that they're showing you, $3,000, that trade-in value.
If you owe money on your car, slaves, your trade-in value is zero. It's a negative. So trade-in value of a car doesn't mean anything to you because you don't own the car. In order to go by Kelley Blue Book, that Kelley Blue Book is going by a person who owns a car, not you. If you own the car, you look up Kelley Blue Book, and Kelley Blue Book says it's worth this. It counts on who owns it. But if you don't own it and you're upside down in the car, Kelley Blue Book means nothing to you, slaves. Nothing, because you don't own it.
Your trading is probably worth $7,000.
Of course.
But they're only showing you it's worth $3,000.
Yes, because they're slaves.
Where that extra money goes.
Slaves.
In their pocket. That's profit.
Correct.
So you got to know what your trading is worth. Okay. The MSRP 20.
Notice how he said everything I was just saying. They're going to lowball you to see if you even bother to look up the value of the car that you want to trade in. And if you accept it, they're going to be like, "Oh, cool. They didn't bother to look it up." That's an instant $3,000 profit right there. Boom, right off the bat.
$25,000. You probably didn't even pay attention to the MSRP on the paper because you already know what the car costs out there.
Slaves don't even know what MSRP even means or what it means. It doesn't mean anything. Manufacturer suggested retail price. The manufacturer suggested that I pay $25,000 for a car. Well, I don't agree with the manufacturer. When you got cash, you can say, well, I don't agree with what you say, manufacturer. I'm not paying that. And you don't have to. MSRP only applies to slaves, not people with money, okay? I don't care what the manufacturer's suggested retail price or whatever suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price. I don't care what they suggested as. I'm paying this, period.
But you're not negotiating a good price on the car. You might down, right?
Oops,
okay,
damn.
Well,
sorry about that. Sorry about that, you guys. I got to clicked on the wrong thing.
Work them down.
Okay, I'm going to just let it play from here.
You work yourself down to someplace where you think you're comfortable, but that price is still profitable for them, okay? So they bring you up high.
They're in the business of selling cars and making money. Of course they're going to make a profit. You think they're going to sell you a car and make no money? They're not. They got millions of you slaves financing them, okay? Millions of slaves finance cars. They're making a profit, and they're not tripping on one person, okay?
They're going to play the game, going back and forth to the manager. Oh, they only have $2,000 down, right? Okay, well, if you want to do 84 months, this is going to shoot up to, I don't know, 370 with $2,000 down. Now, the real problem is up here with your trade-in and the MSRP. They want you concentrating on this because that's where we all trained to concentrate on, the monthly payment and money down out of pocket. But up here is where you're getting jerked around, okay? Your trade-in value. This trade-in value that they're showing you, $3,000, that trade-in value, your trading is probably worth $7,000. But they're only showing you it's worth $3,000. Guess where that extra money goes? Right in their pocket. That's profit for the dealership. So you got to know what your trade-in is worth, okay? The MSRP, $25,000. You probably didn't even pay attention to the MSRP on the paper because you already know what the car costs out there. But you're not negotiating a good price on the car. Your mind's not there. All you're worried about is, can I afford this car every month down here? You got to work yourself a deal on the car and on your down payment. on your trade-in value, all right? You got to work both. This brings me to another point. This is why I have another video where I explain this about trading in a car. If you have a trade-in whether you owe money on it or not, I recommend bringing the trade in to the picture last. If they ask you if you have a trade in, you say, you know what, I don't have a trade in. I have a car, but I don't even think I'm going to trade it in. But you really are, but you're going to bring it in last. The reason why is this gives them all the dealership is working with is the price of the car. They can't jerk you around on the trade-in value, okay? Because they only have one item to negotiate with on here.
Okay, let me say something to you guys. He's not saying anything. He's just talking. He's just pointing at stuff and this and that and this quadrant. He's not saying anything, okay? That's why I'm listening. Okay, what are you saying? You showing me something? What are you showing me?
Which gives you the opportunity.
Get to the trickery. Okay, show me where they're tricking me.
To negotiate on the price of that car. All right. You get this price of the car down as low as possible. Right. Now that you know that you have a good deal on the car, then you say, okay, yeah, I do want to trade in my car, and you bring in your trade in. All right. Go to Kelly Blue Book.
Let me tell you something, slaves. As soon as they run your credit report, they know you have a car. Okay, they already know. They just run your credit report and they see you have a car. They know exactly what car you're talking about trading in. They are probably already ran the numbers, see how much you owe on. It's clearly right there on the credit report. They just see how much you owe. They look at it and go from there. They already know you're a slave. They financially abuse you when you go to car lots. I want you guys to understand that. Please understand that.
Find out what your trading is worth because you don't want to get jerked around on your trading value. All right, they don't really like when you do that.
If you don't believe me, this is what you do. Okay, this is what you do. When you go to a car lot, you know how the salesmen are just on you like a hawk. As soon as they're standing by the driveway, as soon as you drive in, as soon as the salesman's on you, you turn to them when they say, hey, man, check out this car, blah, blah, blah. You turn to that salesman and say, do you have student loans? If they say yes, that's just a slave trying to sell you a car, okay? They're just like you. That's it, nothing more.
Do it that way, you'll be better off, okay? And don't be surprised if they lowball you on your trade because they know they already gave you a discount on the car. You're saying you're not going to go back on your price on the car. You already told me I get this $25,000 car for the 23 or whatever, right? So they might come in and lowball you on your trade in when you bring it in last. They don't really like that. So that's why you got to know what your trade in is worth and fight for every dollar you can get, all right? But the moral of the story is don't be fooled by just concentrating on your monthly payment and your money out of pocket. Because this is loaded with...
You take that number that you got from your Credit Karma. Don't be fooled like you can buy something with that large negative number. You look at that negative number and understand that math is never wrong, ever. And you look at that number and say, I can't buy anything with that amount of money. No, you can't buy anything with negative dollars. That's impossible. According to the laws of mathematics, that's impossible. You're going to fool yourself if you don't believe that number and you step on a car lot and finance a car. Only slaves finance things that go down in value. Slaves have no idea how detrimental it is to finance a car. They don't even know. They don't know that. Financing a car is a financial suicide. And if you have student loans, if your student loans are your oldest debt, and you walk on and they run your credit report and they find out your student loans are older than every single debt you have in your life, they are going to financially abuse you, slave.
Profit for them. Make sure you get a good trade-in for your car and a good price. Here, the dealership makes a lot of their money, most of the money on a car sale, here, right here.
Financing.
You know how they do that? It's called interest, financing.
Correct.
Here's what happens. They tell you $375 at 60 months. So let's say you have decent credit and your credit and the interest rate they're giving you when you get back to the office to fill out your paperwork, you got a 12% interest rate, hypothetically. They say you're financing at 12%. Really, the bank that they're putting you through, the Wells Fargo or whatever XYZ bank that's financing the car for you, is giving the dealership 10% interest.
This video has 450,000 views. Now, let me explain something to you before you get hyped all up. Don't worry about, don't look at the views like, oh, it must be popular. That's how many slaves there are checking this video out. And believe in all this stuff. Believing. Read the comments under the video. Look at all the slave comments. Go check it out. They don't even know what, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Nothing. Out in the open for the world to see. Anybody can log on YouTube and see you say something only slaves say. Okay?
They say, okay, we're going to approve Mr. Customer for this loan at 10%, but the dealership, when you're sitting down in that office signing papers, tells you that your finance rate is 12%. Guess where that 2% of interest goes?
Where?
Right to the dealership's pocket.
Of course. Oh, they do you slaves so dirty. They do that all the time to you slaves. I hope you slaves know that. They just do you guys so dirty. Oh, so dirty. They just kick you while you're on the ground. Your chains are rattling. Oh, my God. And you guys are still crossing your fingers to be approved for that debt. They don't want that depreciating car. They want it off their lot as fast as possible.
And it's all built into here. Another thing to keep in mind, these numbers here, a lot of times they're padded with enough room to get you a warranty.
Yeah, of course.
Market warranty that you buy that covers.
Hey, check it out, slaves.
That's where we all train.
Oh, crap. I hate it we keep doing that. Sorry about that.
Trading is worth. Okay? The MS.
Damn it.
Deal on the car and on your down on it or not. I recommend bringing the trade in to the picture.
Damn, I clicked it all the way back, didn't I?
To negotiate with on here. But the moral of the story is, don't be fooled by just concentrating decent credit and your credit.
All right, let me just pause anyway. For now, this is why they sell you a warranty too, slaves. They know you couldn't afford the car, so guess what? They know you're not going to be able to afford to fix it. Of course, you're going to get a bumper-to-bumper warranty. When you have money and you buy a car in cash, when you have no debt, you always have money. You can buy a car in cash. If the car breaks down, guess what? You have the money to fix it. You get it? You get it, slaves? You don't need a warranty.
They're giving you, when you get back to the office to fill out your paperwork, you got 12% interest rate, hypothetically. They say you're financing at 12%. Really, the bank that did for you is giving the dealership 10%.
Sorry, I'm fast forwarding.
But the dealership, guess where that 2% of interest goes? Right to the dealership's pocket. That's profit for them. And it's all built into here. Another thing to keep in mind, these numbers here, a lot of times they're padded with enough room to get you a warranty. You know, the aftermarket warranty that you buy that covers you for an extra 100,000 miles after the factory warranty. Those warranties have two prices. They have the price that the dealership gets it for, and then there's the price that they sell it to you for. So they might have a 100,000 mile warranty for $500, but they sell it to you for $1,000, and you buy it, and it bumps your payment up a little bit, right? But you're paying for it over the long haul. So maybe your payment only goes up $15, but you're still making a higher payment because they're selling it to you at a markup.
Why are they selling it to you as a markup? Because you slaves have no money. You have no money to fix the car, and they prey on your fear. If that car breaks down, you're thinking, man, if the tranny goes on in this car, I won't have the money to fix it. They already knew that when you finance the car, slaves. That's why they sell you a warranty that they get for $500 and sell it to you for $2,500. Do you understand, slaves?
Okay. Warranties are a good thing to buy. I always recommend.
No, they're not.
Warranty, but do yourself a favor. Ask them if you can get it at cost. Okay? Let's say, I'll buy a warranty, but would you give it to me at cost?
No.
Keep in mind that a lot of times your warranty.
You know what they're going to say to you? If you say that, they're going to say, get out of my office, slave. Get out of here. There's a long line of people behind you, slave. Can you move out the line, please? Sell you at cost. That means I make no money. You want me to sell you something, make no money? Get out of here, slave.
Money is already built in here. They can give it to you. All right. Just keep those things in mind. Keep your eyes on everything on the board. Okay, everything's important. But don't forget to get a good trading value and get a good price on the car. Don't just concentrate on your monthly payment. All right. I know it can be kind of hard to do. You're excited. You're nervous. All right. But make sure that you're doing it right when you're in there. All right. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment down below.
No.
I'll answer any questions.
You don't want me to leave a comment.
Right,
you do not want me to leave a comment, slave. You don't want me to leave a comment. Good job, Rodney. Appreciate you, man. Like I said before in the beginning of this video, it has nothing to do with Rodney. What he's doing is legal. It doesn't matter what he's doing. I'm not disrupting his business or anything like that. He's making money, period. Okay, and got nothing. I'm just pointing out things that don't make mathematical sense. And I'm telling you, to finance a car doesn't make mathematical sense. If you understand this, you'll know none of this makes a difference of anything. All right. All right, so let's go to the. Oh man, that was like drip torture, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was like drip torture. That was drip torture. Now let me put this invite up here just in case you guys want to ask some questions about this article. All right, let me see who's come up in the room. What's up, Dave? Sincere, Cosmic, Jay, Nicole. Hello, hello. What's up, Red? What you say, Dave? Car salesmen do this every single day. Average person may buy a car once every 7 or so. No, they'll finance a car for 7 years. And this was slaves say to themselves, oh man, I'll just do 7 years, but I'll pay it off way before that. No, you won't, slave. No, you won't. You won't even last 3 years. Okay. Don't worry about the 7. What's up, Randy Woman? Cousin says never bought a car from a car lot either, but something from a mechanic or individual, but pay cash. So, oh yeah, I only buy my cars from slaves, desperate slaves. This is what you do. You look for the car you want, and then you call up the slave that's selling it and hear their story. Hey, why are you selling it? Oh, I'm going through a divorce, a breakup, split up, blah-giddy, blah, can't make the payments, lost my job. I don't care. Listen to one of the slave stories. It doesn't matter. Then that's when you get it for half the price, okay? They all got the same story, all right? Your reactions are giving me life right now, LJ. LJ, you're hilarious. It bores me. You guys don't. I know you guys don't. If you're not debt free, you don't get it, man. I can't watch 90%. Listen, 90% of this financial stuff you see on YouTube, they're not telling you the mathematical truth. I promise you, they're not. But it's business. It's not. Listen. It's not illegal to say things that are not mathematically true, because it's up to you to trust math or not. That's totally up to you. If you trusted math, you will immediately know nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody in the world gets a finance car on sale. But if you don't believe that and finance it for 84 months and believe you're getting a deal and on sale and you get the extended warranties, the aftermarket, you're a slave. If Warren Buffett said he can't afford a car note, I know I can't afford it exactly. Dave says, watching this reminds me of my boy, $190,000 in mortgage and student loan debt, who want to buy an 11-year used Porsche and Boy, I tell you, what's up, cupcakes? Always. Now, if you're new to the channel, man, jump in. You can ask me a question. If you're tired of being a slave, if you don't even put this way, if you don't even, this is how to tell if you don't know you're a slave. If you don't know your total amount of student loan debt, you're a slave. If you don't know the interest rate, this is kind of like what's a given. If you don't know your interest rate on your car loan, you're a slave. I mean, a serious slave. Like, financing a car is bad enough. But if you don't even know your interest rate on your finance car, you're a slave. If you have an extended warranty on your finance car for 84 months, you're like the ultimate slave. Nah, see, DK, you got to stop saying that. It's not dirty. Is it dirty if somebody said, hey, DK, what is 1 + 1? And they tell you, and you say 3, they're gonna sell you something because it's your fault you don't trust math, okay? I know I'm my mom's smartest child now. Exactly, Car dealerships make so much money off. Oh yeah. Put it this way, slaves. If you knew what SMD knows, car lots wouldn't exist. Do you understand? CarMax wouldn't exist. The biggest Lexus dealership, they wouldn't exist if you knew what SMD knows. Okay? They don't use metal anymore. Newer cars going to pieces when they, don't they? Slaves don't even pay attention to that. Listen, and this is what you got. When you go by an accident and you see all that damn plastic all over the road, and then you got to ask yourself, they're charging what for that? You'll see a $80,000 Cadillac Escalade get hit somewhere, and then you look all over the road, you see the firemen sweeping up plastic. You got to ask yourself, they're sweeping up plastic. Those trucks run how much? $80,000 worth of plastic. They're fooling you, slaves. And this is the crazy part about it, okay? This is what you slaves really don't know, okay? You guys don't even see this shit, right? When the car is bought new, taxes are paid on it, okay? And then when they trade it in, now it's used. And then when they sell it again, guess what else is paid on it? Taxes is paid on it again. Wait, you got to think, wait a minute. Wasn't the taxes paid on that car when it was new? Yeah. So what? What's that got to do with anything? Then why am I paying taxes on it when it's used? Because they said so, slaves. Because if you don't trust math, that's your problem. How can they charge taxes when they already charge taxes on an item? Because they want to, slaves. That's none of your business, slave. You just pay it and shut up. You shouldn't have been financing the car in the first place, slave. I financed my car only because it was at 0%. Got a new compact car to get to work, not show off. Well, I mean, that's bait. Because if you believe you are getting a car at 0% and you finance it, that's just what you believe, I guess, or whatever. If you believe that. Because hey man, come and finance this car for 0%. You know what I would turn to somebody that said that? I'm not a slave. I don't care what you're off. I don't care what you put on the hook. I know it's a hook. I can see the hook. 0%, the hook goes right through the 0. It's sharp. I can see it. What are you talking about? I'm not biting that. See ya. Dave said, I used to work for an auto finance company years ago. There's millions of stories of them doing slaves and people who aren't slaves dirty. Yeah, dirty slaves. 12%. Ain't that crazy? 12%. And you notice the way dude said it in this video? Hey, say like a car lot finance at 12%. Like 12% wasn't shit. On a car? And I always say this, slaves, so you guys can understand something. You don't have the money for the car. You know what also you don't have the money for? The taxes. You guys finance the taxes too. So say like I walk on a car and buy it in cash. Say like it's $30,000. It's going to be $30,000 plus cash. Say like it comes up to 32 with taxes, okay? 32,000. I hand them 32,000 and it's done. Your 32,000 goes into a compact finance bucket. And then the bow on a package, and then the bow on top of that is interest. So you're fine. Not only are you paying $2,000 in taxes, you're financing the $2,000 in taxes too, at a finance rate at 12%. Ooh, you low down dirty slave. Ooh, they do you guys so bad. Oh, so bad. And you guys be begging for more. Ooh, I got to get that credit score up. That's your reward for staying in debt, slave. That's what it is. What did you think that is? That's your owner's ledger. You think high credit scores or something good? No, it's not. You have to pay for that credit score. Do you guys know? Check this out. That you guys are listening. For those of you that feel bad that you got a low credit score, let me tell you something. The people with the lowest credit scores are closer to zero than the people with the highest credit scores. The people with the highest credit scores are usually in the deepest of debt. Why? Because they're rewarded with more debt for staying in debt. Your lower credit score is preventing you from getting more loans. That's a blessing. That's not a curse. All that matters is who gets to zero first. Who's closer to zero? You realize that? And this is all you guys got to do. Okay, you got to understand something. Let me explain to you why what SMD teaches is a superpower, so you can understand something. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. It doesn't really matter, because I don't really care what slaves think. There's trillions of dollars in mortgage loan debt. Trillions. That's millions of people. SMD has nothing to do with that. That's none of our business. There are trillions of dollars in student loan debt. SMD, we don't care about that. That's millions of people. That has nothing to do with that, with us. We don't care if Biden relieves student loan debt, 50,000 of it, 10,000, hell, all of it. Because that's never going to happen anyway. But who cares if he doesn't? It doesn't. It doesn't matter to us. That has nothing to do with us. Trillions in car loan debt, trillions in credit card debt. That's millions of people. That has nothing to do with SMD. Who cares? Whatever. You know, when they count, you go to that clock and you see the number spinning and then the debt's going up. They say, hey, this is how much debt the U.S. has. They're not saying everybody in the U.S. has that debt. You got to listen. This is the U.S. amount of debt, and it is ticking so fast, right? They're not saying everybody in the U.S. is in debt. They're just saying that's how much debt you slaves are in. You guys are in debt, not us. You. That's your debt. Oh, man, I had it down low. Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I couldn't see the screen. Sorry about that. Volume is low. Okay, gotcha. Exactly. Exactly. Disregard. I just heard a celebrity say they bought all their children used cars to start out in life. And you know what? That's a good thing to do, for sure. Nigel says, in the comments, training effect, Rambo said, okay, one of the users. Okay, I'm looking to get a car, and this popped up in my feed. God works. I saw that one. I saw that one. God said, what? You know what? I was going to write this. I was going to write this under there. You know what? Since you mentioned God, I was looking in the Bible, and I'm not religious. I was looking up Proverbs 22:7, and it says the borrower is slave to the lender. So if you borrow money I didn't write it though. If you borrow money from the bank to buy this car, that means the bank is the lender and you're the slave. What God says that too, right? Because that's God's Bible, right? That's what he says. So why would you think God brought this video to you? That doesn't even make any sense. The guy is right about extra percentage points being padded into the APR. Dealer will get paid extra, but if the slave prepaid loan off, highly unlikely dealer will be charged back to the difference. And they know that's not going to happen. Okay, that's not going to happen. Yeah, that's right, Gabriel. Shut up, slaves. Mind you, he skipped past all the due diligence that's supposed to be done before stepping on a dealership. All that. But you know, Hyphy, he's there to make money. Okay, that's his business. He's got 450,000 views. That's a lot of slaves. That's a lot of slaves. Lot. My relative is a car salesman, and she has paid off her student loans via slaves. Nice. It's a dirty game when you're the one doing dirty. Yeah, it's dirty to them, to slaves. And they're not, and let me make sure you guys understand something. Car salesmen, car dealerships, they're not doing anything. You're doing it to yourself. Okay. If you don't know that financing a car is bad, that's your problem. But that's okay. The car, car lots wouldn't exist if you guys didn't finance cars. I'm gonna just put that out here, okay? Because I love the system. I don't care if you guys finance cars. Have you guys look at CarMax, right? Their car lots are like football fields. What do you think that's from people paying cash for cars or people financing cars? If it wasn't for you slaves, car lots wouldn't exist. They couldn't exist without you. What's up, Monique? Hey, fam, I'm at work trying to get out of debt. Conscious slave. You got to say I'm a conscious slave, Monique, not slave, conscious slave. 0% equal documentation fee, transport fee, licensing fee, tax, vehicle, prep fee. Shall I keep it? Yeah, you ain't getting nothing for zero. Nothing. When it's zero, they remove all and any discounts, so you pay the full price. Ooh, slaves. Yes, they are, Nick. Financing. You think slaves know that? They don't know they financing taxes. Of course, that's why slaves hate taxes, because they finance them. When they finance a phone, yes. When they finance the new iPhone 12s, they're financing taxes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And if they buy the phone with a credit card, guess what? They financed it. Al says, friend of mine works as a car salesman. He bragged he had 3 cars as if they were assets. Slaves always do that. They always do that. I made the deadly mistake 2 years ago. Shame on me for hustling backwards because I quit college because of not wanting debt. Just finance a car. I'm actively trying to get from under this mistake. First, Malik, let me make sure you're aware of something, okay? The very fact that you recognize this, okay? I want you to always look at this. Always look at the opposite of the majority, okay? If you recognize this, you have just done something that is the opposite of millions of people that finance cars and believe it's normal. You realize you've made a mistake. That's step one. You have to wake up and say, oh, shit. That's not a good idea to finance a car. No, it's not. But that's step one. That's how you wake up. That's how you wake up. Oh, damn. I just got a notification update saying Uber Eats will now start delivering. See you later, pharmacies. See ya. Pharmacies are going bye-bye. Bye-bye. And what does that do? Imagine all the pharmacists that are hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. You better start paying off your student loan debt right now because your job's about to go bye-bye. You better hurry up. You guys better hurry up. You better get started on them student loans, paying them off right now because everything is changing. Amazon has set the stage, baby. Anything before 2020, that's gone forever. And if you're still financing cars in this new economy, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. Well, we still need pharmacists to house the medications and get them together. I don't know that. Just to put it this way. That's probably true, Nick. But how many less pharmacists will you need? Right now, there's tons of pharmacists because they have to supply all the pharmacies that for physical people to walk in. But one day that's going to be gone. Everything is going delivery. Everything. You can't stop it. Everything is going delivery. Goodbye, pharmacies. And I want to say this one more time so pharmacists understand, because you guys got some big ass student loan debt. You better start paying it off now. If you need a blueprint, come see me right there. SavingsMinusDebt. I'll help you get out right now because the world is changing. There's the new economy, baby. Don't be watching this video and be like, oh, damn, he told me that back in 2021. I'm telling you right now, it's clear as day. It's Steven says, LJ, my daughter does appraisals at CarMax for people looking to do trade-ins. I wish they had a take a parent to work day to see if they're offering true blue book values. You know, this is all they got to do, really. They just say a value of your trade-in just to see if you looked it up. I mean, it's easy. And if you say like you happen to look it up, right? And they said, and your trade-in's worth 5, but they tell you 3. And they say, hey, we offer you 3,000 for trade-in. You turn and say, hey man, I looked at the blue book, it's 5. They were like, oh, let me check. Let me see and make sure I wasn't looking at the wrong car. Oh yeah, you're right. It is 5,000. That's all they got to say. But if you say, oh, okay, I'll take 3, they just made $2,000 right there. That's called phantom income. Getting money that slaves can't see. They can't see if they don't look up the trade-in value. They don't know that they're financing taxes. They don't know that. Here they are. Most slaves hate taxes. They think taxes are evil, which they're not. Taxes are your friend. They're not evil. Taxes are evil. They are evil if you're financing them. Somebody asked me the other day or today, somebody put in a comment under one of the videos saying, why are you calling people slaves? I'm not calling people slaves. I'm not calling people slaves. The Bible is. That's where I learned it. The borrower is, Proverbs 22:7 says, the borrower is slave to the lender. I read it. It's there. Everything I say, I can back up. How many people that are religious going to say, oh, the Bible's wrong? None of them. So shut up, slave. Shut up. My math is right. And even if you're religious, God even says it. So what are you talking about, slave? I'm telling you, man, slaves are just like, they just be saying stuff that don't make any sense. They just be, oh my God, man. Well, if the housing market crashes, which might cause the stock market to crash, that's coming, baby. Unless the president comes up with some $50 trillion plan or something that I don't see. I don't see it coming. I heard him mumbling about some $3 trillion plan somewhere, something. I don't know if it has anything to do with the housing market, but if I read it and it has nothing to do with the housing market crash is coming, period. I don't even know how much money it would take to prevent this housing market crash that's coming. I don't even know if there's enough money to be made. Don't get me started on that. I'm gonna stick with the car financing. Okay. I want you guys to have some questions because slaves like to finance cars. All right. Don't get me started on Bitcoin. Because slaves will believe anything. They just be making up shit and slaves believe it. Bitcoin ain't real, people. You the Bitcoin slaves. There's your answer, Gabriel. There's your answer, Gabriel. You guys have no idea how many people are on the sidelines going, ooh, real estate. If you're out of debt, if you have no debt and you have some money, right now is the time to be owning some real estate. You about to get some sweet deals. All the slaves are going to be cleared from the board. See you, slaves. You financing the car. Hey, check this out. If you're making car payments, 9 times out of 10, you're making mortgage payments. You're about to go bye-bye. See ya. You're about to get cleared off the board, especially if you have a subprime mortgage. See ya. Hey, slaves, pay attention in your city. It doesn't matter what city you're in because it's happening everywhere. Pay close attention to all the brand new storage facilities that are being built. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed when you drive into work and you look on the side of the road and you see this gigantic storage facility? Yeah, that's where you're gonna be putting your stuff, slave. That's why they're building so many. They're preparing for you guys. You guys don't know why they're, hey, why is that new storage facility? Man, it's got like 3, 4, 5 levels. Cooled, not cooled. Park your car. Yeah. Because they know you're going to take all your stuff that got you in debt, which actually caused you to lose the house that you never owned. And then you don't want to let go of your stuff. And then you're going to put it in the storage facility and you're going to be paying $1,000 a month to keep your stuff because you guys are slaves. That's what slaves do. Doesn't matter what city you're in. Look at all the storage facilities going up. It's crazy, huh? That's it. Hashtag you're the Bitcoin. But unfortunately, Top Shelf, you know the only person that's going to be using that hashtag? SMD family. That's it. It's just us. Because slaves are not going to know when you call them the Bitcoin. Hey, slave, you're the Bitcoin. They're going to give you this dazed look like. I'm the Bitcoin. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're the Bitcoin, slave. Well, how can I be a Bitcoin? Anybody can be the Bitcoin. It doesn't exist. Show me a Bitcoin. You never seen one, right? I'll show you a Bitcoin. Go look in the mirror. It's you. You're the Bitcoin, slave. Cryptocurrency doesn't exist. Doesn't even exist. Why it doesn't exist? Because you have car payments. That's why it doesn't exist. Houses are up, ain't it? Yeah, they're highly up. Hell yeah, they're locking in slaves right now. Slave housing prices are going through the roof. This is all a slave has to do, okay, slaves? Now you see in the housing market skyrocket, right? All the values are going up, right? All you got to do is take a step back and say, wait a minute. There's millions of people out of work. Why are housing prices going up? I don't know. Nobody's able to pay any mortgage. Then why are housing prices going up? Don't make sense. Do it because it's not true, slaves. They're locking you into the housing market prices of today because you guys are paying overvalue of the houses today. So when it crashes, when the housing market crashes, guess what, slaves? You're going to be stuck paying the housing market prices of today. You know how bad you're going to feel when you're writing that check to the bank, knowing your house is worth half the value that you paid for it just about a year ago? Whatever, slave. That's your fault. And if you got an FHA mortgage in 2020, 2021, they just imagine being on the ground. You just got your underwear on. Ladies, you got just your panties and bra on. And you're in some old rusty chains around your neck, ankles, wrists. On the ground, they're just kicking you and you're saying, please give me more abuse, please, please. Sonny Gray says, these slaves use math to debunk Dave Ramsey. Could you review it one day? I'll check that out. I haven't. And see the title? The title alone says, these slaves use math to debunk. Dave Ramsey's right. So this video, it's gonna debunk math because Dave Ramsey don't own math. And everything Dave Ramsey does is math. So I can tell this video is full of shit right now. I can tell right now you're going to debunk Dave Ramsey. Oh, okay. Well, Dave Ramsey is not math. He doesn't own math, but he uses it. I see them everywhere saying they're going to get rich by Bitcoin. So they all say it. There's Bitcoin experts. They're teaching. Hey, slaves are teaching. Slaves are Bitcoin. Check this out. Bitcoins are teaching other slaves about Bitcoin. Oh man, we predict Bitcoin's gonna go through the. Yeah, it is, slave. That's true. It's about to go through the roof. Not for you though. Not for you. Check this out. If you got student loans, according to the laws of mathematics, you can't invest in Bitcoin. That's what the laws of mathematics say. If you got student loan debt, you have no money to invest in Bitcoin. But if you believe you do, you are the Bitcoin slave. And check this out. Anybody, so you guys can understand what this means, so you know who to talk to about Bitcoin, because trust me, there are people that understand money are making money off of Bitcoin. Off of you guys, slaves. Anybody trying to tell you about Bitcoin, this is what you say. There's a couple of things you ask. Do you have student loan debt? If they say yes, they're the Bitcoin, because that's impossible. Number two, if they say, hey man, invest a bit, you say, do you have a whole Bitcoin, or do you have pieces of Bitcoin? If they say pieces, that's called Bitcoin crumbs. Only slaves get crumbs. So if anybody telling you to invest in Bitcoin and they don't have whole Bitcoins, like each coin they have is 60, 50,000, whatever it's worth right now, $50,000. If they didn't break Bitcoin into Bitcoin crumbs, Bitcoin couldn't exist, slaves, because you guys couldn't afford to buy the whole Bitcoin. Do you get it, slaves? They do you guys so dirty. What up, SR? I'm finally in the positive. Savings mind debt equal positive net worth. Congratulations. Malik says, you are absolutely right, and that's what I'm doing, so I don't really damn myself about it. Okay, I'm just actively searching and trying to build skills, and that's what you're doing. First, you got to wake up, Malik, because the program is strong. Once you get all the way out, Malik, you're going to turn around, and you're going to clearly see that it's a program. All of it's credit. It's a business. They're just there to make money. It's no different than when you shop on Amazon. Using credit is a business. It's just a tool, nothing more than that. And then you're going to see all the slaves just walking around mindlessly buying shit, financing shit, because slaves think buy and finance is like, listen to a slave. Listen, they'll say, hey, we bought that house. There's only one way to buy anything. That's cash. So when you hear somebody say, we bought this house, you say, do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, you got to disregard what they're saying, because they have no idea what they're saying. You can't. That's called financing. If you mortgage a house, that's called financing. That's not, you didn't buy anything. Gabriel says, people don't get it, that we never had this many people unemployed. And no, they don't. They don't get it. That's on purpose, Gabriel. Why do you slaves think you're getting approved for finance cars so easily? Because your student loans have been removed from your credit reports. That's why you're getting approved. Do you understand, slaves? Go sign into your credit report and go look for your student loans. They're not there. Go look. You know you didn't pay them off. I hope you don't think they disappeared. I hope you don't think that. They removed them, so your credit score will go up. Your debt to income ratio will go down. Now you'll be able to prove. Now you're able to be approved to finance a more expensive car, slave. And then when you finance it at a ridiculous interest rate, they're going to, come September, they're going to put them back on your credit report, and that's when you're going to go, boo. You think car repos are bad now? Wait till no, it's going to take a minute to kick in. Wait till November and December. Car repos are going to go through the motherfucking roof. And guess who's waiting on the sidelines? People with cash. Man, I always wanted that brand new BMW. I always wanted it. And they're going to get it at a discount. You think the bank wants that shit? They don't want those depreciating. They don't want a depreciating car. They don't care if it's a Ferrari, a BMW, a Lamborghini truck. They don't care. Oh, that Lamborghini truck is to buy that is like $180,000. To who? To who? Slaves? I don't care what Lamborghini says their manufacturer suggested retail price is. You think I'm paying $180,000 for a depreciating car? You must be insane, slave. Imagine how many slaves went out and financed a Lamborghini truck, SUV, or whatever you call that thing. Oh, slaves, man. Slaves. I've been seeing people say they'll rather have a 800 credit score than $1 million. Okay, slave. They'll just, yeah, okay. Whatever, slaves. Allah says, people ask me if I own a house. I say, well, I pay a mortgage. That's what you say. You just say, this is what you say. Allah, you say, are you a homeowner? You say, no, I'm a loan owner. And check it out. Check this out too. So you slaves can understand. When you fill out a credit app, and they always put in the box to say, are you a homeowner? And then if you check yes, that is there. Why are they asking that question? They're going to know when they run your credit. Why are they asking that question? They want to see if you still believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage. That's all that is. You check yes, they're like, okay, they're still a slave. You don't never stop and say, hey, why you ask me that question? Once you run my credit report, you clearly see I have a mortgage, right? Why you ask me that question? We want to see if you know if you're a slave or not. If you check yes, they know you're a slave. BIT, bad investment tactic coin. Bitcoin crumbs. Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, and you guys know the people that understand money. Oh, hell yeah. Why do you think Elon Musk invested all that money in Bitcoin? He understands. You guys don't know Bitcoin is going to take a crash come September when those student loans go back on your credit report, slaves. Because this is what you're going to do. You don't know it's coming. You don't even realize you're not going to have the money to pay your student loans when it comes September. You don't have the money now. You're not going to have the money in September, but you guys don't know that. So after you added this new car, then the student loans, you're not going to come back on your credit report. You're not going to be able to afford the car anymore. And guess what you're going to think you're going to do? You think you're going to run and cash out your Bitcoin to pay for some of this stuff when it's going to be too late. They're going to pull their money out in August probably. And then it's going to take a crash. And then you'll be like, oh shit, I can't afford all this. Let me go get some of that money I made from Bitcoin. You're going to look at it and be like, oh shit, it's worth $1,000. Yeah. They do you guys so bad. Ooh. Exactly. The whole credit thing. It's not a scam. It's a business. E-Man, are they scamming you? If you go finance a car using credit, did they scam you or did you not trust math? They're not scamming anybody. If it's legal, put it this way. If whatever they're doing is legal, it's not a scam. Just like MLMs. MLM is not a scam. It's legal. It doesn't make mathematical sense, but it's not a scam. SR says, I got cash and need a new discounted car. I will gladly make lowball offers. Hey, all you got to check this out. If you're looking for a car, wait till September. When they put those student loans back on their credit reports, there's going to be a fire sale on cars. Just wait, just chill, just chill. It's coming. Eclectic Agitator says the truth and facts, good logic and understanding. I'm still learning. Yes, you are, sir. You're getting there. Not sure who is Nellie Fuller Jr. I'm not sure who that is. They're not forcing people to sign contracts. People just not knowing what they're signing up for, negligence on their behalf. Oh yeah, people. If you're financing anything, if you're financing anything that you know goes down in value, you automatically know you're a slave because only a slave would do that. Only slaves finance things that go down in value. You want to be free? Huh? You want to be free? And this is what I was thinking too, right? And this is something I was discussing with my woman today. This is what I've been realizing. Women, okay? Women have been getting I don't know if it's a program or what, but women have been getting the low end of like less pay than men and all this other stuff. Let me tell you something, ladies. That's a myth too. You can change the game. If you come here, you will clearly see that has nothing. You can change all that. You can change all that. Your whole life will change. You won't think, oh, men got the upper hand. All you got to do is get out of debt. Get out of debt. Get out of debt. Right here. SMD, get out of debt, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a made up program. Oh, men make this much more in five. Yeah, in the debt. Those are you got to remember, those are statistics in the debt matrix. Okay, remember that. Those are statistics that only reside in the debt matrix. You get out of the debt matrix, you'll clue. See, that means absolutely nothing. Nothing. And I've been thinking more and more about it. It's like, and I've been predicting this, when Kamala becomes president, I believe she's going to become president. It's going to calm the country down. It's going to totally calm the country down. Totally calm the country down. Totally all emotions, because women are more emotional. And you add that on top of being debt free. The game has changed. Women could kill the game. Kill it. Kill the finance game. I've noticed, being in this game, that men, we have our egos. Who's this nigga telling me how to do my money? All that stuff. When all they got to do is take a step back and say, but his math is right. Remove the ego and say, his math is right. And it would change the game. But men's egos are too, and I'm a man, so I know. Remove that ego. Women don't have that problem. I'm telling you, man. E-Man says, I meant the way they define what is good. Oh, good credit. One little thing can give you a bad score. Oh, yeah, that's on purpose, too. That's on purpose. They say, I remember being in the debt matrix, say, hey, man, it's a good idea to close a credit card once you pay it off. Oh, no, man, your credit score dropped. That's a scare tactic. Because if you close it, they make no more money, so they're going to penalize you for not being a slave. Oh, you low down, dirty slave. We're going to make your credit score drop because we ain't making no more money off of you. So guess what they do? They keep it open. Exactly. Thank you, slave. Because they know one day you're going to have an emergency. And guess what you're going to pull out? The credit card, because all you slaves believe it's a good idea to keep credit cards for emergencies. Instead of sitting back and thinking, wait a minute, how come I don't have my own money for emergencies? I don't know. What's up, retired? I'm telling you, don't let the majority of women find out about SMD. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. If the majority of women find out about SMD, it's done. It's over. The game's going to change. I was just thinking about that today. Thinking about that for some reason. And I think about I remember one time way back in the day, a friend of mine, him and his wife owned a gym, but they only trained women. And I thought to myself, why did they only train women? That just didn't make any sense to me. Dudes work out. Why are they only training women? Because women, they just get it. Now I get it. Shout out to Omanike for the Cash App donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It kind of throws me off when I see your YouTube name and then your real name. I'm like, who is that? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Any questions of me? Maybe you come on here and wonder why I call people slaves. Maybe you want to know that. I'm here to help. Okay. I'm here to help. If you don't want to be a slave no more and you want to see the real financial game, the real economy, I can give it to you, man. I can show you the way. And I promise you this, a lot of you guys, I've noticed this too. I want to reiterate this. Most of you are afraid to talk to me because your credit score is low. I'm here to tell you, 9 times out of 10, this is what I've been saying. The people with the lowest credit scores are the ones closer to freedom. But they don't know it. They've been shunned by all the slaves telling them that if you have a bad credit score, you are lower than dirt. You drive a beater. You can't buy a house. You can't get anything. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. The slaves are lying to you. Okay, just because you drive an older car, they believe that you're driving an older car because your credit's bad. No, you drive an older car because you own it and you're not a slave. 9 times out of 10, the people that are talking about you and your car, they're making car payments. So if you have anybody, especially the young people, I want you to hear this. If you have anybody trying to talk about your paid off car, you turn to that person and say, are you making car payments? If they say yes, disregard what they're saying because they're slave-splaining. They're just talking. They're not making any mathematical sense. They're making car payments. Those are slaves. Don't pay attention to slaves. You're probably thinking, can a slave drive a Cadillac Escalade? Of course they do. They do it all the time, every day. Every time I go on the road, I see them all day. Slaves drive Mercedes, McLarens, Porsches, Cadillac Escalades, the new Raptors, Teslas. They all drive. Slaves drive. Check this out. Slaves finance Teslas and think they're saving money on gas. They think because they're now using electricity, they're saving money on gas. No, you're not a slave. You're still financing a car. You think you're saving money on gas? No, you're not. Oh, yes, I am. I don't use gas. It doesn't matter what the thing you use is. You're not saving anything because you financed the car. I'm not, I'm wondering if you even need them, Monique. I mean, honestly, you might not even need them. You might just want to have a talk, I guess, because you're already there, basically. Sal says, what if I have never messed around with credit? Don't worry. It doesn't. I mean, put it this way, Sal. Credit is a tool. I have a credit card. Okay. I use it for the tool that it is, for convenience, and I use it for security. Okay. I use it because to not finance a car, but to rent a car, you got to have a major credit card. It's too much hassle with a debit card. Get a hotel room. Have you noticed, like, when you go shopping, some people use the chip and some people still use the slide? What good is the security if every store doesn't use the chip? Whatever. So I just use my credit card. So if a scammer, because scammers are slaves, that's why they're scamming. If a scammer gets my credit card information, I just call the credit card company and say, hey, it wasn't me. They just take it off credit and go after, do whatever they do to get that money back. That's all. It's too much of a hassle when a scammer gets a hold of your debit card. It's just a big hassle. It's just that happened to me once. And this is what led me to use a credit card everywhere instead of my debit. Once I used it, they discovered that somebody took my debit card and they said, hey, is this you? And I said, no. They said, okay, we cancel your credit card. Your debit card. We're going to send you a new one. And I said, okay, what do I got to do? Oh, you got to go down and get a police report, say it wasn't you, blah, blah, blah. I said, I got to do all. Credit card company don't do none of that. I'm on and off the phone in like 5-10 minutes. And this is what I said too, right? Because the banks allow you to use your debit card as a credit card by hitting enter. I said to myself, what if I drop my debit card and somebody picks it up? They can just go to the store and hit credit and buy something. What good is a pen if they can just hit enter? So this is what I did. I called up my bank. I said, hey, can you remove the Visa, MasterCard logo off my debit card? I don't want that. You know what they told me? No. These are the things that don't make any sense. What do you mean? No, that's my money. What are you talking about? No, I don't want it on there. What if I drop that's obvious. That's an obvious security hole. That's obvious. That's a very open, clear, obvious. You drop your debit card, they pick it up, go buy some food, hit enter, it's credit, and then they're on their way. What do you mean you can't take that off? Oh, we got to deal with Visa and MasterCard. I don't give a fuck if you got to deal with them. Who cares if you got to deal with them? We can't do it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to use my debit card anywhere. I'm going to just use my credit card everywhere. That's it. Don't believe me? Call up your bank and say, hey, man, remove that Visa debit card logo. I just want to use it as a debit card. They're going to tell you no. Anybody got any questions? Because we're on about 1:30. We're going to get off here. Any questions? What's up, Fred? I ain't seen you in a minute. Omari says banks would never remove that logo. Visa probably pays for it to be there. Exactly, they do. That's why they told me no. They said Visa and I think they said Visa and MasterCard provide those cards for them. And again, still, always pay attention to the things that don't make sense. What do you mean I can't? That's obviously, and I told the lady, I said, that's an obvious security hole of my money. What I said, what good is a pen if they can just hit enter? I mean, I do it all the time just because when I go buy stuff and there's people around, I don't want people to see me put in my pen, so I just hit enter and just be on my way. But I thought about it, I said, anybody can hit enter. Eclectic Agitator says, what do you think about investing in property with family? As long as they're not slaves. Because I want you guys to understand something. Family has nothing to do with it. Your blood, it's just math. If every family member understand the rules that we don't break when it comes to business, we don't break the laws of mathematics. As long as everybody in the family understands those laws, we're good. How do you do this? Before you go into investing in property with family, you say, here's the deal. I need to see everybody's personal credit report. We're going to all share personal credit reports before we do this. If any of them say no, then you don't do the deal. If any of your family members have student loans older than their children on their credit report, you don't do the deal. No. Why not? Because they haven't taken care of the business of themselves. You think you're going to go into business with somebody that went to college for 4 years but kept their student loans for 20, and then you're going to go into business with them? No, you don't. You don't do that. That doesn't even make any sense. That makes absolutely no sense. They haven't taken care of the business of themselves. Zero starts with you. Your family making car payments? How long are you making car payments? 84 months? We ain't doing no deals. Why not? You're making payments on your car for 7 years. That's why we're not making a deal. What are you talking about? Joe says, what's up, Jodo? What's going on, man? Hi, LJ. Hope this isn't too far off topic, but can you tell us the fears you dealt with before you reclaimed your time, quit your job, and the relief after? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. The biggest fear was quitting my job. That was my biggest fear. And I just talked about this in the members only area. To quit a 6-figure job that I took 20 years to build. That was a huge fear, but Had I not been debt free, that wouldn't even been a consideration. I had to be debt free, right? Once I was debt free, that was it, right? But the biggest fear was to quit. And the reason why, and this is what I always say about fear, fear is not meant to run from. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Fear is not there to scare you. You're not supposed to run away from fear, because have you noticed every time you run from it, it's always there. It might take a month later or 2 months later, a year, but it all comes back. It says, I ain't going anywhere. I'm trying to show you something. All you got to do is turn around and look at it and see what it's trying to show you. But if you're too scared to look at it, you're never going to know. Until I got over that fear of quitting my job, I would have never known that the 40-hour work week is a program. I would have never known that Saturday and Sunday are not really special. They're just days of the week. I would have continued to be just like every other slave, thanking God for Friday when God made all 7 days. He didn't say Friday was special. Only slaves think Friday is special because they thank God for it. Saturday is no different than Monday. It's no different. You don't have to be. I would have never known. I didn't have to be in traffic every day, every morning, and every afternoon. I would have never known that. Again, fear is made to be faced. Anything, especially when it comes to financial, always face it. False evidence appearing real. Now, don't get me wrong. That was a very difficult thing to get over, to understand, because I was taught since age of 18, credit and a job. I have 7 brothers, started putting up $200 a month for investing or for investment. Okay. First, you got eclectic. You got to first realize, do they really have $200 to invest? Because that's the first investment, the investment of themselves. Do they actually have $200 to invest? Or do they just believe they have $200 to invest? If they just believe they have $200 to invest, you don't do that. If any of your brothers are in debt, and if they don't know they're in debt, they're unconscious slaves. You don't go into business with unconscious slaves. You don't do that. Cosmo says, I wouldn't partner without a written contract, and I would review their personal finances. 7 people is a lot of cooks in the kitchen. That is a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Visa and MasterCard are networks. Visa is the most accepted network globally. You can tell the network a card is on by the first digit. Oh, gotcha. Of the account number on the card. 3 equals Amex. 4 equals Visa. 5 equals Visa equals 5. And okay, gotcha. E-Man says, a friend bought a house in South Dakota, trying to rent it out, now moving back to Minneapolis, and wants to go into business in the transportation industry with me. And he had another, he's doing too much. He's doing way too much. He's very confused. Way too much. I'm not going to, don't do that. Thank you, Joe. I could tell by the way you write your comments and stuff. I can clearly see, you clearly understand. That's clear. I like your take on fear, LJ. I learned that. Yeah, I don't want to take credit for it. But I learned that. When somebody said it like that, false evidence appearing real, I said, yep, it's false. It's all false. Slaves don't know it's an illusion. Oh yeah, I forgot to add. Yeah. And what's so funny, you didn't even have to mention that. It sounded like he had student loan debt. This is what you guys got to understand. Listen, okay? Debt is the colorblind slave master. It doesn't care who you are, what you are. All it sees is green. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine how many accountants are out there in student loan debt. They go to school. Imagine how many accountants that are making car payments, that are helping other people with their finances, helping businesses with their finances. And the business of themselves is not even in order. They go to school for math. They go to school, they go to college, taught how to balance books. But the business of themselves is not even balanced. You're not at zero? You think you're going to do my finances and you are not at zero? Are you insane, accountant? Hold up, wait a minute. Your student loans are older than your accounting business. Are you insane, accountant? You must be insane. Your student loans are older than your business? Yeah, you see this business? Yeah, it owns you, slave. Why? Because you have student loans. What do you mean, why? What are you talking about? I don't get it. An accountant that's listening to this, that's a hard pill to swallow because they know I'm mathematically correct. They have to know. Doesn't matter if they like it. If you're an accountant watching this, it doesn't matter if you like it. You're just a slave who's an accountant. And I don't care what slaves think. I don't care what you guys think. I barely even see you. I don't care what slaves think. I don't care what you think. You're irrelevant because of yourself. All you have to know is that I am mathematically correct. That's all you need to know. Yes, sir. Thank you on the correction. You're welcome, sir. But on the flip side, and I want you to really, really pay attention to this, okay? Really pay attention to this. If you are an accountant and you didn't know about SMD and what we teach here, I will make you the best accountant in your field, wherever you work. I will make you the absolute best in your company, in your business. I will skyrocket you. I will show you something that if all the other accountants are in debt, which they 9 times out of 10 they are, I will catapult you beyond farther than what you can believe. Because slaves are missing something. They don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. Here, let me give you an example. If you have an accountant that has a mortgage and they're calling themselves a homeowner, they obviously don't trust math because that's not mathematically true. All they got to do is put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal, and the math will show them that they're clearly not a homeowner. You got to ask yourself, why? And if this is you, get up, go to the mirror and say, why have I been calling myself a homeowner when it's not mathematically true? I'm here to tell you that's part of the program. You're not a homeowner, you're a loan owner. It doesn't take 30 years to pay off one house. That's a lie. Why do you think that? That's a program. That's a program. That's not true. You will kill the game. And you can even tell, and tell this, when you catapult your career or whatever you're going to do, you can even tell your coworkers, they're like, hey, how are you doing all this? You just turn to them and say, I'm not in debt. They will give you that dazed look like, what are you talking about? Everybody's in debt. That's what you think, slave. What's the first thing one should do when out of debt? I strongly suggest that you take in the feeling that you're not a slave. Don't immediately think you have to be doing something. Once you get out of debt, I want you just to stand there. Soak in that you are no longer a slave. Let that soak in. Don't do anything. Just chill. Just like, I own myself. And then you're going to look at everybody around you and you're going to know that they're slaves. You're going to know it. And then you're going to realize that you live in a whole different financial world. It's the same world. It's the same world, but it's different. You're just going to see slaves walking around doing things, calling themselves homeowners, thinking they're investing with no money. You're going to clearly see that the stock market you see, that's full of slaves. That's not, there's nothing in there but slaves. The stock market doesn't exist the way you think it exists. You can get on TV and watch it and see the numbers, but it couldn't exist without slaves. Then you'll be like, oh man, it's not all those numbers scrolling on the bottom and that really fast. And these graphs, they don't mean anything, nothing. They don't mean anything. That's a trick. They made up a coin. Listen, for those of you that just might be on the other side of zero, let me show you something. The banks made up a coin that doesn't exist. And it's worth almost $60,000. Something that you can't touch, backed up by nothing, guaranteed by nothing, and slaves believe in it. You will clearly be on the other side of zero and understand you shouldn't have had a job in the first place. Slaves are giving away money. They just believe in anything. Look at the lottery. Hey, you have a 1 in a billion chance to win this 100-something thousand million. You know what, slaves? I don't care. There might be a chance. They just told you the chances of you getting that are damn near impossible. You think slaves believe it? So they came up with cryptocurrency. And anybody can make up cryptocurrency. Anybody can come up with it. Try to make up your own US dollars. See what's going to happen. You can't do that, slaves. Do you understand, slaves? Malik says, I just saved my bro life from the matrix, telling him what you've been teaching me. I'm more wiser now and thankfully, this is my biggest debt. Okay, good. Oh, okay. The car is your biggest debt. Okay, congratulations. For sure. Man, you better tell your brother he owe you a life favor. Believe that. What's up, Sharif? L, how to deal with all the financial mistakes you made in the past. I don't think about them. Let me tell you guys something, okay? I kept my student loans for 10 years. Went to college for 4. Kept them for 10. There is no way I'm going to go back and add up all the money I spent over 10 years. I won't do that. That would probably send me into a depression. I financed cars all my life. I'm not going back and adding that up. Nope. I'm just happy that I'm free. That's it. Not adding up, none of that. All the this is what you guys got to understand. When paying off your debt is part of the process. You must feel what it's like to pay back all the money you spent. Because right now, when you use credit, you use the money and you get something. That's the satisfaction. You pull out the credit card, you buy a PS5, you get something, you're taking it. You pull out the credit card, you get shoes. But when you pay back money, you give the money and you get nothing. It's just gone to pay off debt. You're just paying it back. And if you do that, however long it takes you to pay off your debt, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, it doesn't matter. You pay off your debt. Once it's done and it stops, you know it stops forever. All those checks that you were given to whoever the debt people are, to people you owe money to, will go into your bank account. Do you know how fast your money is going to stack in your bank account? Once you get out of debt, you'll know, don't cheat the tax system. Don't be doing tax evasion. Don't be claiming stuff on your IRS, pretending that it's there and it's really not. Don't do none of that shit. That's what slaves do. You will clearly see the purpose of taxes. You will clearly see if they didn't make, this is why you can go to prison for tax evasion, okay? Taxes are the backbone of our whole economy. If they didn't force slaves to participate, the whole economy would collapse. You think slaves are going to pay taxes on their own? No, they're not. Why do you think they take their money out of their checks before they're giving it to them? Because they know slaves wouldn't pay it. When I paid my truck off back in October of 2019, I automatically gave myself a $5,400 raise. You sure did. By not having a car note, giving myself a raise by getting, that's called phantom income. That's called phantom income. Slave, it's called phantom because slaves can't see it. They're mathematically blind. They have no idea about phantom income. SMD coins. Yeah, I should come up with that. Fred said, just finished off my car last month. Oh, congratulations, Fred. Congratulations. Congratulations, man. You know I mean that. All right, you guys, we've got about 5 minutes. If you have any questions, better say them now. Ask now, say now. Now, in this video that I did on earlier in this thing, man, go read the comments. Go read the comments. 450,000 views. Go read the comments. With your debt-free eyes, just go read the comments. Oof. Poor slaves, man. Poor slaves. Poor slaves. Now, I don't go on those kind of pages and I don't comment. I don't say anything. I just read them. I just read all the comments. I'm looking at them like, wow. They're just grasping they're just looking for the answer. What's the answer? I'm tired of being tricked by car salesmen. This video's tricking you, mathematically speaking. This is a superpower. Knowing that having this knowledge is a superpower. Literally. And I always reiterate this. How do I know it's a superpower? If slaves knew what SMD knows, the housing market would collapse. The car industry would collapse. The credit card industry would collapse. Student loans wouldn't exist. That's how I know it's a superpower. Do you understand, slaves? Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you don't. Don't matter. Because without you, I couldn't exist. People like me couldn't exist. We need slaves. I'm not against the system at all. The system's lovely. It's just there. The financial system's doing nothing to anybody. It's just there. It only favors those who trust mathematics. It's against those who don't. That's it. Jodo says, a man by the name of Bernard von Nothus, I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce that right, created Liberty dollars backed by silver and gold. The Fed shut the operation down, seized the gold and silver, put Bernard in jail. Can't do that. Once you get out of the debt matrix, there is a clear hierarchy that's generations old. That's clear. These are the rules. You do this. You can't come here making your own dollar. That's clear. Why? We'll take away the time in your life if you try by putting you in prison. You can't do that. Try to copy it. Yeah, you're going to go to prison. Can I make any kind of cryptocurrency I want? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead, slave. You can do all. You can make as many as you want. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But I can't make a US dollar? No, you can't. You can't go to them and say, hey, wait a minute. Why are you telling me this $100 bill is worth $100 when I can go to your website and clearly see that you made it for just under 20 cents? Why is it worth $100 to me? Because we said slaves. That's all you need to know. You don't like it? Are you saying something? All right, then shut up. Wait a minute. You made a 20 and a 50 for the same price, just under 17 cents. Why is it? If you made a 20 for the same as a 50, why are you telling me this is 50 and it's really not? Because we said so, slaves. We don't care what you think. Shut up. Oh, man. All right, we're about to wrap this up. Man, it's pollen down here, man. It's bad. Whew. Down in South Carolina. I gotta rinse my damn car off every day because of so much pollen gets on my truck. It's crazy. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Until next time, and thank you everyone for the Cash App donations for the videos. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and want more of them, please don't hesitate to email me. There we go. There's the email address. There's my Cash App. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you, Sals. Appreciate it. Again, congratulations to Fred on paying off that car. Congratulations. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Later.